From Bvtv studios on the campus of Buena Vista University in Storm Lake, Iowa, this is Bvtv News. Welcome back to Bvtv News. I'm Autumn McLean. As of March 26th, there are 4 active COVID-19 cases at BVU among students, staff, and faculty. BVU distributed 150 COVID-19 vaccines on campus March 10th. The Storm Lake Times reported Tyson Foods in Storm Lake secured COVID-19 vaccines for employees. A large number of those employees chose not to get vaccinated, leaving an influx of vaccines in Buena Vista County.
On March 9th, we received a call that we were going to have availability to distribute vaccines on March 10th. And so we ended up distributing 150 to employees, spouses, or family members, and then students as well. My role was the scheduling of it. I emailed all the ones that had not received the vaccine yet and asked if they were interested. And I also notified them they had to meet the CDC guidelines of being more in a high-risk category.
The day of the vaccines, I had the great job of having everybody in line, and I say that excitedly because I've never had a line of people that nobody was crabby. Everybody was so excited because they had this opportunity. President Linsmeyer called me that afternoon and said, we have public health called. We have until 4:30 to let them know if we can use the vaccines.
Word out, we only had like 4 hours to find out if we could cover that many doses. And then we put it together and did the clinic the next day, got through 150 in a little over 2 hours, which is pretty remarkable. And if we can get a high percentage of people vaccinated, that changes the conversation significantly. Really the ballpark I've seen, and this is estimates at this point, if we can get 80% of our community vaccinated, that takes away a lot of the need for things like plexiglass, things like keeping down numbers of visitors in rooms. I mean, it really changes the game. So the hope is that there will continue to be a good supply level. And if that is true, Governor Reynolds has opened up the possibility of anybody 16 and up getting vaccinated starting April 5th. I am really optimistic for fall.
BVU theater student Christina Spillman will virtually direct an original play on Friday, April 16th. Savannah Davis reports on the challenges Spillman faced as a graduating senior during the pandemic.
The doors here at Shaler Chapel are closed, where Christina Spillman's showing of Unsaid would have happened. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic bringing challenges to the table, Spillman's passion and positive outlook have made things possible.
I grew up with a lot of strong influences, and then as I got older and got invested in, modern politics, I realized that there was a lot more to gender than what even I understood.
Spillman's inspiration for Unsaid stems from her background in studying gender and women's rights. In 2019, she wrote the script for the show while taking a theater course with BVU professor Dr. Bethany Larson.
And of course, we had to go through the gender and women's studies process with the syllabus and all of the requirements that they need. And so, yeah, there was a lot of planning and preparation.
Spillman's goal after writing Unsaid was to eventually bring it to life, and now she is doing that confidently.
I feel very confident.
I told everyone at work,
I have put meticulous detail into planning this out, and I know that Bethany and David are there to help me succeed no matter what.
Although support has brought Stillman a long way, it's not the only thing that has kept her going. Her self-awareness has kept her grounded, and because of that, she is able to pass on her knowledge to others.
Make sure you take a few steps back. Make sure you have other voices reminding you, oh, hey, don't get too wrapped up in this one thing, because everybody wants their show to be perfect. But you have to treat it like you would any other script.
The opening night for Unsaid is on Friday, April 16th. The start time is still to be determined. I'm Savannah Davis, Bvtv News.
To view this performance live, visit Facebook public event titled Unsaid, a Zoom reading. BVU offers students work-study positions on campus for extra financial support. BVU payroll accountant and human resource generalist Emily Heitman shares how students can find a job on campus that works for them.
At the beginning of the year, we typically have a work-study fair where all the supervisors have a booth and kind of explain different opportunities they have, schedules, stuff like that. And then students can see what's of interest to them and see if it works out with their schedule.
Drew Marksberry, sophomore at BVU, shares his experience with the BVU work-study program.
This is the information desk. We answer the phone calls and send them where they need to go. So the main line actually comes here. And I choose to do work study rather than job off campus because it saves time and you can just walk here any day. You don't need a car to get here.
And now, stories from the TAC, BVU's leading news organization. After their 2020 season was cut short, BVU baseball is back in full swing. Check out an article by Austin West to learn about the American Rivers Conference and stats for the current season. Also, the International Club hosted a passport to cultural events, snack events, on Thursday, March 17th. Held in BVU's Center for Diversity and Inclusion, this event gave American students a chance to taste snacks from around the world. Check out an article and photos from the event produced by Hannah Perry at bvtac.com. BVU freshman Phoebe Flasky regularly volunteers at a Buena Vista County farm as a part of the Institute for Agriculture. Clayton Van Horn reports on Flasky's unique experience assisting in the birth of a baby calf.
At BVU's Institute for Agriculture, students are presented with rare opportunities that, in their own words, are miraculous.
My name is Phoebe Flasky, biomedical science major.
Phoebe is a freshman here at BVU.
I have a soft spot in my heart for animals. Originally, I wanted to be a veterinarian, realized that wasn't exactly the path that I wanted to go down, but I still wanted to do medical. So doing the work here with the farm, I'm able to kind of still have that soft spot in my heart, but still pursue my future career.
Although Phoebe's major is not agriculture, she still comes by to help out.
A lot of people find it odd that I'm working with the cattle here and I'm not an ag major, but I love it and it's super fun. This is Mike's ranch. It's his place. From my understanding, he ended up partnering with BVU, and so BVU students come out here to work, do some hands-on learning, which I love. I love being right in the mix of it. And a couple weeks ago, there was one cow that was starting to be in labor, but there was a C-section that might have been needed. So Mike had said, hey, this is happening. So I came out here. We got the cow into one of the stalls, and he checked the cervix to see how the calf inside was doing, and then said, want to try? And I was like, what? So I ended up putting on a whole arm-length glove, and I was able to reach inside, and I was able to feel the calf's nose and the hooves. So you feel the hooves first, and he's like, just reach a little bit farther in and go down, and I was able to feel the calf inside the placenta in the mom. So that was really cool. And so I was able to feel the hooves. You can feel, because they got the two little parts, and so you're able to feel the two little hooves. And I was like, so you said that you could feel the head? And he's like, yeah, just reach in a little bit farther and go down. And so like you could feel the nose of the calf within the side of the placenta, and I never would have thought that I could have done that. I'm still set on being a dermatologist, but I love the work that I've been doing out here.
I'm Clayton Van Horn, Bvtv News.
And now let's turn things over to Daniel Meisner for sports updates on BVU athletics. Daniel?
BVU women's basketball wrapped up their 2020-2021 season in a loss to the Cohawks of Coe College in a 52-73 loss in the American Rivers Conference Tournament. As for the men, they would beat the Wartburg Knights in the first round of a score of 96-70 and then go on to win a nail-biter against the Central Dutch with a final score of 81-76. The winning streak would end in the championship game against the undefeated Spartans of Dubuque, where they would lose by a score of 64-78. In BVU wrestling, with their original postseason being canceled, the Beavers did get their chance to wrestle at the NWCA Division III Championships. At the tournament, BVU senior Don Phillips pulled off an upset against the second seed wrestler Logan Hagerbomber. Phillips would go on to finish 8th overall and be named an NWCA Division III All-American. With what was supposed to be their first game on March 26th, has been changed to a scrimmage. Beaver football does not know if they will get a regulation game as this spring as planned earlier in the school year. Beaver soccer is almost underway, with their first official game being the men's-women doubleheader against the Wartburg Knights on March 27th. With outdoor track just around the corner, The Division III Indoor Championships happened on March 13th. The outdoor season starts April 1st in Sioux Center, where the Beavers will travel to Dordt College for the Open. Moving into Beaver softball, they were underway the last few weeks. The Beavers jumped out to an 8-7 start on the early season. The most recent series, the Beavers found themselves traveling to Indianola to take on the Simpson Storm, where they were unable to get the bats going and would drop all 3 games. The Beavers will take on Loris in a 3-game weekend series this weekend. And finally, the baseball season has gotten off to an up and down start for the Beavers and a 5-4 record. But over the March 20th weekend, the Beaver bats would come alive to take a 3 out of 4 against the Storm. BVU was led by graduate senior Tyler Tennyson, who had the best series of his career, where he would hit 12 of 18 in the 4 games with a home run in the bottom of the 8th that would give the Beavers the lead at the time. They would win that game 15-14. The Beavers take on the Loris Dewhawks in a series starting on Friday, March 26th over that weekend.
Well, that wraps up another Bvtv newscast. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and we'll see you next time.